Can anybody tell me why my camera moves like that? Like, I have a Canon M50. Please help. I can't figure it out. Also, is the Luke's Landspeeder actually good, or do I just have Luke's Landspeeder Stockholm Syndrome? Alright, everyone, I done goofed. Last week, I apparently decided that Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic were the same thing. To be fair, to someone who is not very invested in Star Wars, you can obviously make this oh, wait. I am invested in Star. Okay, but honestly, I just didn't know there was a difference. Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic. Obviously the Old Republic being the common denominator there. I just thought they were the same thing. I didn't realize that they were different games or different things. Although they seem to have some, from reading your comments, some crossover with Darth Revan and stuff. So it's still confusing to me. I think I would make a pretty good Lego Star Wars designer given my comments about the Old Republic. Welcome to Ask M&R Productions, episode 191, the series where I answer your questions. So, as the saying goes, if you have a question unanswered on next week's episode, leave it in the comments below, and hey, maybe I'll answer it. LSS Production starts us out and says, what is more overdue to be a set between the UCS AT-AT and UCS Luke's Landspeeder? I think they're equally overdue. I don't really think there is an answer here. I guess on a technicality, Luke's Landspeeder has been around about 3 more years than an AT-AT, but like, these are both just staples of Star Wars at this point. They're both vehicles that we've had about 5 or 6 sets of in Lego form and various other forms, in micro form or mini form for both ships. And so I think they are the final 2. Like, they're definitely at the top of overdue UCS sets, and now we can kind of get through a list of other things that are less overdue, I suppose. You know, I thought this question would go more in the middle of the video, but I'm going to do it here anyway. Star Wars Brick says, have you ever thought about quitting YouTube? And the answer is most certainly yes. And I think a lot of people think about quitting a lot of things all the time, right? One very recently, like I would love to quit right now, right? Like there are quite a few reasons for that, but I would rather not get into that. And we have a really cool thing going on here, and I think a lot of people really enjoy it, and like there's just a lot there. To walk away from it now would be the most ridiculous idea. There are 2 other times when I like genuinely, and I think even more so than now, considered walking away from YouTube. And it's when it would have made much less of an impact on my life, I think. Right now, like you're in too deep at this point, right? 388,000 subscribers. It's incredible, but like I can't just walk away now. So I think in like 2015, because I had not graduated high school. I might have been in 10th grade. It might have been like 2014. So for those that don't know, I lived in Florida my whole life. My dad's job was either go remote, and so you would either work from home, or you can move to the office in like Alpharetta, Georgia. And so there was consideration of moving to Georgia or staying in Florida. And I'll tell you what, I did not want to leave Florida. I was very upset by the idea of leaving Florida. So much so that I, like, in my head, I was like, if we move, again, this is 2014. I maybe have like 8 or 10,000 subscribers. So I'm like, if we move, I'm going to stop collecting Lego. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm like, there were just so many things in my life that were going to change and be upended. Like, I really liked the high school I went to. I really liked all my friends. Like, I didn't want to leave that. Like, there's just a lot of reasons I didn't want to leave. And so, yeah, part of that would have been me. I was like, dude, I don't know why it was in my head, but I was like, dude, if this happens, dude, I'm done. And then in 2015, the Lego group graciously deleted my YouTube channel for uploading pictures of like unreleased Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens minifigures, and this was the first time this had ever happened. So factory leaks are very common now. You see them all the time. You'll see pictures of factory minifigs. It's decently common knowledge how these figures get out, and that it's not a particularly great thing that's going on there. Back in 2015, before the episode 7 Lego Star Wars sets released, there were quite a few pictures going around and unreleased figures going around for sale of these episode 7 minifigures. And so I, of course, being a Lego Star Wars guy and super excited about the upcoming products, as I am, uploaded pictures of them. I was like, hey, look, this is a Captain Phasma. Hey, look at this Finn, or whatever it was, First Order Stormtrooper, whatever the characters were. And, of course, through multiple videos like that, the Lego lawyers copyright striked my videos. This is 2015 me with like 10,000 subs. The deal is with most of it is like, if it doesn't have a watermark, it's free game to post. That was always the understanding between Lego and its fans. And then they just come in and start copyright striking everyone's stuff on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, like, my YouTube channel's gone. Like, it's just gone. I think the same thing might happen to my Instagram, just gone. Literally, you can see, I was at Brick Fair when it happened. My YouTube channel gone, done for an entire month. And so that was my first contact with Lego was because of that at like 10,000 subscribers or whatever I had back then. And I was like, what is going on here? Why is this? Like, this is ridiculous. You're literally going to take away my YouTube channel because I posted some pictures of minifigs that were literally everywhere on the internet. And also you could have just came and asked to take them down. Like, you can see where the seeds are for where we are now in the world of Lego Star Wars. It's always been a rocky road. And fortunately, they, I guess, came to their senses and realized how preposterous it was, and reinstated my channel or removed the copyright strikes or whatever, and that was a great thing. Like, obviously very happy for that, and it's because I probably would have walked away from it if my entire channel and existence on the internet to that point had been wiped in like 2015.
Buddy, it's me, Ryan here. I'm MandRproductions 34, and I am back. I'm gonna start out and say that I'm really just absolutely elated, thrilled to have my channel back. I was starting to get worried that it wasn't gonna happen. Finally, today, I was sitting at the kitchen table doing homework, and I go to sign into my YouTube, and it signs me in, and I was just so happy.
I don't think I'd ever quit YouTube, though. It's my life. Donald says, I've also noticed that LEGO is putting their instruction books in plastic bags, which is unnecessary. Quite the contrary. I believe it to be very necessary. I got this DM the other day from Luke Anderson, so hopefully you don't mind me showing this, but he showed a picture of his gunship instruction manual, and as you can see, the entire thing is completely bent, as are the stickers there, and so I felt really bad for him because, like, you can probably get instructions back from LEGO, or free instructions or whatever, but it's gonna take a while, and obviously, like, you can't, like, building with bent instructions is not a particularly great experience, so yeah, I think having the instruction books in plastic bags is absolutely. Johnny Jimenez says, do you ever think we will get sets based off the books? I feel like I had a really meta answer for this guy, but I can't remember what it was supposed to be. It was really funny when I thought about it yesterday, though. I did have an idea, and I don't know if you guys would think this is funny. When Book of Boba Fett comes out on whatever day in December, would it not be very funny for me to walk into Barnes & Noble or call, I think it'd be easier to call Barnes & Noble and be like, do you guys have the Book of Boba Fett? Cheese It Production says, for the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, they should have stuck with the $30 Battle Pack and have had 2 Hoth Rebel Troopers. I 100% agree with this. I think it's a great idea. The Super Battle Pack probably should have been here to stay, and now it's not. I obviously went through my whole theory of everything last week, but this works really well. The problem is, there are no Hoth Rebel Troopers in 2022 except one, so all of a sudden, LEGO has a problem with their lineup. Typically, they've been really good historically about having sets to, like, interact and, like, go against each other, right? But their current lineup, or future potential lineup, obviously, with 2022 lumped into there, looks like the AT-AT, which is $160, and then we have the Hoth AT-ST, and then we have the Snowtrooper Battle Pack. So those are your 3 main, like, Imperial Snowtrooper Hoth type of sets. And out of those sets, we actually should be getting 1 Hoth Rebel Trooper in the AT-ST. That's the rumor, and that's it. There's no, like, Hoth Battle Pack to go against all of that stuff. There's no Snowspeeder to go against all of that stuff. And that's not, like, a necessary thing. I personally, like, don't see, like, an absolute necessity to always having an opposition to the bad guys in your lineup. Like, these Imperial sets can certainly, and very well certainly, will stand just fine on their own. But, like, it would have done them some help to have extended the life of that 20th anniversary Snowspeeder, which was only available for 6 months. That one didn't make any sense that they retired it so soon. Like, that kind of sucks because that Snowspeeder would have gone so perfectly with the AT-AT the following summer, and now, of course, with more Hoth sets coming out, like, that thing should have just stayed alive. Yeah, the $30 Battle Pack, if you just up the price $10 and include 2 Hoth Rebel Troopers, you're looking much better there, and you can probably include a bit of a better build for the Snowtroopers as well, or even better build for the Hoth Rebel Troopers, just like that original Hoth Battle Pack. It just would have been a perfect match there, but unfortunately, it's just not what seems to be happening, and as far as I can tell, it's not looking like there's going to be a Hoth Rebel themed set to go against our Imperials, so quite a shame. Continuing on our Hoth binge here from Keaton, he says, I was wondering what are the chances of getting a Master Builder Series Hoth set that goes along with all the Hoth sets being released? Very slim, although it would actually make the most sense now, timing-wise. The Assault on Hoth set, when it originally came out, I think you're forgetting that they had a set like this that came out nearly 5 years ago, and it sold pretty poorly because LEGO presented it poorly. They released it too late. They released it 2 years too late. They should have released it in early 2014 or May 4th, 2014, to go with the summer Hoth sets that ended up coming out that year, which were an AT-AT and a Snowspeeder. It would have been a perfect match with those sets. And then by the time 2 years later that the UCS, and in my opinion, obviously Master Builder Series, Assault on Hoth set came out, those two sets had retired, and the Assault on Hoth set was just kind of standalone. If they released an Assault on Hoth set right now, it would make a lot more sense than when it did in 2016. Essentially, like, you get all the Imperial sets as these separate sets, and then this big Hoth Rebel set for the Echo Base and everything, because the flaw with that original set is it had no Imperials. It had 2 Snowtroopers, and they called it Assault on Hoth. Like, what? And then the flaw with the current lineup is it has no Rebel Troopers. And it's kind of funny to me to see the same issue present itself, but now it's just kind of the inverse, and, like, they could both be solved by having been combined. But, yeah, it's not happening, so there's that. Mr. Trong here has a long one, says, do you think as a rather influential individual in the community, could you make, or could have made, a bigger difference for the benefit of the whole of the LEGO Star Wars fan community if you would communicate your concerns and problems with LEGO Star Wars in a more diplomatic, less confrontational way? Not saying to be a weasel or anything like that, just maybe instead of saying, this is stupid and you guys are stupid for making it, this is stupid. So fun. This is stupid and you guys are stupid for making it this stupid. Instead say, hey guys, this is really good. I don't think this is the right direction and you would do better if this and that, etc. And we are here to help you should you need it. Totally appreciate your honesty and of course love the content. So I can't disagree. I think I am often very brash, and that is for better or for worse, and it is just the way I have become. As I mentioned earlier in this video, the seeds were planted in me in 2015 that this was a company that didn't particularly feel great about its fans. But that being said, it would hurt nobody to word things in a more diplomatic way. I would certainly agree. There is... You mentioned being a weasel. I don't think that makes you a weasel if you say something just in a less brash or harsh way or whatever. I do think there are certainly people that go out of their way to not mention things and not, bring up flaws that are very obvious and maybe that they hold as their opinion as flaws but won't actually say because they're scared of their relationship with LEGO and that type of stuff. I don't know if it would help more. It would certainly help me more, because LEGO doesn't like it, obviously. But I don't honestly know if it makes a difference, like if I'm helping the community more by being less harsh, if that makes sense. It definitely would help me more. I can see that. But to your point of, like, would it help the community more? Like, for example, I pretty strongly called out LEGO for their Nebulon B frigate fiasco last year, and I was told, I don't know, in like January of this year, that they were doing some type of vote within the company or something in that vein, like to make some change. I don't know if change is actually going to happen if they do another, because obviously this year they have not done a release like those Comic-Con releases where they had it available for Target or whatever and scalpers bought them all instead of having a limit of one type of stuff. And while the actual effect of that is remained to be seen, obviously it does make waves internally because the message gets across, and it gets across very clearly. And I think the same can be said for the gunship. I think that, like, without my videos, it is something I deeply care about and have deeply cared about for a long time, and it's very hard for me to cope with the way that it is. Like, I have a video coming out, I think Friday, that is going to blow some people's minds. I think it's pretty insane what's happened behind the scenes. But, like, without the videos I've been making about the gunship, these types of things aren't happening behind the scenes, if that makes sense. So, like, in a way, to get LEGO's attention and to get them to actually make change, from what I can tell, you have to actually make a big deal out of something that you think is a big deal. If you just say, oh, man, the gunship has the Imperial logo on it, rats. They don't care. Like, they don't. If you don't show them you care, they're not. I mean, I still don't think they care, but they certainly aren't gonna, like, make any effort to change if you're just like, oh yeah, cool. I think my answer is definitely mixed for you. I don't think that it necessarily helps the community more one way or the other, but I do think it would go a long way for me personally to not be so brash about it all the time. But does it matter at this point? Because I don't think LEGO cares now, right? So I don't know if it's even worth bothering to change that, because obviously it's helped make some effects outside of that, and that'll be discussed a little bit more in depth on Friday. But I appreciate your comment. I thought it was a pretty good one, so I'll keep an eye out for more ones from you in the future. I like that. A Canadian Duck says, have you ever considered the fact that even if LEGO releases a LEGO Star Wars CMF, they will sell out in approximately 2 seconds in-store and online, leaving most of the people wanting them waiting until they restock just to get sold out again and again? I fundamentally disagree. Of course, LEGO Star Wars CMFs would be stupidly popular, and you would hope LEGO would produce a lot to begin with, but ultimately they would not meet demand, as they almost rarely do with a lot of the popular stuff. But just because LEGO can't quite meet the demand on something, I think is just an absolute terror. And I guess you don't say this, but it's certainly implied that they shouldn't do it because it would sell out and then people would want them, but they couldn't buy them until they had more. I don't think that's a good reason not to make something. Khalid's Event says, what did you think of the iPhone 13? So, if you guys know me well, many of you probably do from watching the series, I like Apple products. That's kind of what I have. I currently edit all my videos on my 16-inch MacBook Pro. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on my iPad Pro. And then the Ask M&Rs I film on a Canon M50. But for most of my other videos, vlogs, reviews, a lot of other things I film directly on, I have an iPhone 12 Pro right now. But I did order one specifically in the hopes that the cameras have better low light performance. I have a specific issue with like the wide angle camera. It just does not look very good unless you're in broad daylight. Otherwise, it just looks pretty rough and it's got a lot of visual noise. And I'm hoping that that has been mostly solved. We're going to see. And the other cameras should just be better in general. I think they have better aperture or whatever, so we should be getting some better performance there. The biggest thing to me out of the Apple event, though, by a wide margin, was the new iPad mini. The iPad mini is my favorite Apple device. This is an iPad mini 4. It's God knows how old now. I got it for like $150 off somehow. I don't really use it anymore, so I considered trading it in for the new iPad mini, because Apple will still give me $145 for this, which blows my mind because I don't think it's worth that much, but hey, maybe it is. And I was like looking at it and I'm like, I can get the iPad mini 4 for 25 bucks a month for 12 months. And I'm like, dude, that'd be so great. $25 a month. That's like 2 trips to Chick-fil-A. Let me just not go to Chick-fil-A twice a month. But it's like, I don't need it. It's one of those things where it's like, I really, really would not need it. I don't use the iPad mini I have now because I have a really great iPad, and it's just like, it is completely useless. It would not improve my life in any other way other than just being complete eye candy to wake up in the morning and be like, oh my god, that iPad mini is beautiful. All right, on with my day. Like, it's just such a useless piece of tech for me at my current point in life. I have no use for it, but oh boy, do I want it. But yeah, that's my Apple event coverage. And I think on Friday when I get the iPhone, I'll probably do like an unboxing video on my Ryan McCullough YouTube channel. I don't see why not. Destroyer Gaming says, do you think LEGO will ever release a Star Wars architecture set? So, I don't know, but like, they kind of just did with the Disney Castle, not Star Wars obviously, but the little Disney Castle for like 35 bucks or whatever it is with Mickey Mouse. Like, that is essentially an architecture set, but of just the Disney Castle, and that's kind of the vibe. I just want something like that with the Jedi Temple. Anyway, I don't think they're ever going to put them under the architecture line, but I could see stuff like that starting to happen as we see with the Disney Castle. So fingers crossed. Toyota says, Toys R Us is coming back to Macy's stores, and how do you feel this would affect LEGO? So Toys R Us coming back is always a fun thing. Unfortunately, it's not going to be like the way of old, which was far superior to like having little micro stores in a store. But nonetheless, Toys R Us being back is cool. I remember like Toys R Us Express stores like in my mall back in like 2010, and they had like $17 battle packs or something. It was just stupidly overpriced. But like, that's what I envision when I see this. How would it affect LEGO? I don't know. They might sell some more products, but not like on a scale that they don't already. Like, they already sell plenty of stuff. So I don't think it affects LEGO very much at all, and I don't think we will see much of an effect. Like, it's not like we're going to be getting cheaper things. Toys R Us doesn't sell things for cheaper. So yeah, it's exciting to have a store back that I think a lot of people have nostalgia for, but don't forget what Toys R Us really was, and that was typically the more expensive place to buy LEGO. And our final comment here comes from Ben, and I just wanted to thank him for his comment. If you want to pause and read it, you can read it, but yeah, thank you very much, Ben, for that. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you have a question, make sure you leave it in the comments, hit that like button, and I'll see you next week.